and welcome to another exciting episode of Find Your Alpha podcast. Today, we are talking film funding with the one and only Mary Egbas. Welcome to Find Your Alpha podcast. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm elated.
So, let's talk about funding. But maybe we should backtrack a little bit
Yeah.
and talk about your experience as a filmmaker or within the film space and why, you've sort of taken on the film funding aspect as your core to sort of focus on.
And that's basically because of my background in film. I'm actually on the business side of film. So
Right.
that helps me to see both sides. So I'm able to see the data. I'm able to see the money, how it comes, when it comes, if
How
it
it
comes,
goes.
and how it goes exactly. And I'm also able to appreciate the production side of things, appreciate the cinema. So I can appreciate the entire ecosystem of
Right.
how film, the making and
The
getting the
making and the
funds.
baking
Yeah, yes, the making, the
of
baking, and then
films.
also how the money comes back. So how it cycles back and all that. I have been in the industry for 21 years now. I started off from the onset. Actually, the industry, in terms of the Renaissance cinema industry, is actually 20 years old. And Nollywood is somewhere around, started about a few years just before cinema came back.
New Nollywood, you mean? Or
Well,
Nollywood
no,
in
Nollywood
general?
in general.
Okay.
It started
Okay.
about 90, if I, in the 90s,
In the
basically.
90s,
Yes.
yeah.
And then cinema came back 2004, 2003, 4, yeah. Yeah. So it wasn't so far out when the cinema started back. So given my background as a film distributor,
Okay.
I'm at the intersection of the making and the
And the
funding
baking
parts.
is what I
Like the
call
way you
it.
do the baking
Yes,
part.
it's the making and the baking
Absolutely,
of
yes,
films.
yes.
Okay, so let's stay on the subject of the business of filmmaking because I
Yes.
think a lot of creatives just jump into this world thinking I want to make films, I want to make films, but it costs money.
Yes.
It costs money from the moment you decide you want to make a film. The time it takes you to think about the idea. If you're going to get a script writer, you've got to pay them. If you're going to write the script, you're going to have to take yourself off of jobs
Yeah.
so that you can sit at home and write, and that has a cost as well to it. What are the things that the misgivings or the things that creatives are missing about the business of filmmaking that you see?
Well, I think because you most of some people come into the industry from the creative side of things, right? So you're at that point you're focused on how to hone your skill as a creative, right? Pretty much the same way a musician. You're just after your voice and after your, kind
Your-
of
your craft.
your craft. Just kind of
Right.
because that's also work by itself. You kind of have to hone your craft and all that. But then understanding how to make money from it is where you have to understand how the ecosystem works, the business side of things, and all that. And I also think that we've not done enough work in respect to uh, teaching and exposing the
Filmmakers.
filmmakers to that, and that's basically why we're doing the film. That's I'm kind of jumping here,
Yeah,
but
I understand.
that's why
I
we're getting
understand.
to looking at that and saying, okay, listen, we have to do more work.
The
in letting-
education is important.
It's very important
because
You
it's
can't really
lacking.
blame, yes, you
Yeah.
can't really blame people for coming in, and they're coming in with what they have,
Right.
which is skill, right? But then there is a structure, and that structure has really only been built in the last 20 years. So people have to kind of understand it. There is the international structure that already exists, and there is the African structure.
Yes, the African elements.
Yes, the elements, the way it's actually worked out for us, given our own environment and many other issues on ground, So the moment you kind of understand how the money comes back, then it's easier for the filmmaker, and the industry is pretty much like a chicken and egg situation. You have to understand how the money comes for you to understand how to craft, because then your craft is only art
Yes.
that can't be sold,
Yeah.
or at least doesn't get the appreciation of your audience if you don't understand the audience, if you don't understand how the audience reacts to things like this. So we always encourage people before you write, in fact, when you're writing, all right, when you have the idea, check in with a distributor, check in with, to see, to kind of balance
if it would sell, if it's
it's going
something
to
that
sell.
the networks are even looking
for and all that.
right?
Because then you don't waste your time, effort, and all that, especially if you're looking commercial. Now, but if you're only looking to showcase your artisticness and you want to go through the festival route, even that, you still need to understand what the festivals are looking for.
Yeah.
Right. So that you don't take something that is not going
That
to
is
go
not
anywhere.
relevant to the market, to the audience, and all of that.
So it's understanding the platform that you are producing for, or
Right.
being creative towards. Yeah.
So on the aspect of funding, it seems like the element of filmmaking that is almost untouchable, almost unreachable, almost inaccessible to many filmmakers. You hear them say, "We want to make films." They say there's grants, but we can't get it.
Yeah.
We hear people are getting things like $1 million, to make a film in Nigeria.
Yeah.
It is now possible for that to happen.
Absolutely.
And you're asking, how do I get a piece of that pie? How do I reach the same investors? How do I get to film funders? And that's a real question. That's a burning question. I think obviously that is a gap in terms of even just the transparency of how you can get this information, how you can get access to these resources. That transparency is lacking. So how does somebody break in?
You've
How do
you've
we
actually
find
asked
it?
the question and you've answered it, because the truth is there isn't the access to information, which is very key, and we want to create the access to it.
And maybe undemonize it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because and guess what? It's not even just the film guys that are confused. The finance guys.
The finance guys are
they're
confused.
even more confused. they're even more confused about us. And one of the things that I've learned building a business is that where there is no clarity, there is no purchase.
Yeah.
The if, for instance, Sony, if I don't understand how to use it, I'm not going to buy it. You understand? So the moment I know there's clarity about the product, I'm going to buy it.
Clarity about the product, clarity about the purpose of the product in relation and in context to your purpose as well.
Exactly. You straight on. You've just said it. I was at the CIBN conference where you basically had all the bankers and all that, and just kind of talking with them, because they kind of found me weird. What are you doing here? You're not a banker. I'm like, I'm coming to understudy you guys too. And they're like, and I was pitching and telling them about this, and they just kept saying, yeah, that industry, I don't get it. I
think
they don't.
but I think part of the problem is the lack of structure, even in our industry.
Yes.
I know that there are certain groups, associations, and whatnot that are trying to put that structure together. There are people who are basically taking on this Herculean task on their own and creating the structure within their own businesses.
Absolutely.
For people to come and buy into. And people we're seeing the results.
Yes.
The ones who understand the structure, understand the need for the structure, who are have the policies and have their papers right and have their business documents correct. All those things, the ones who understand it are the ones reaping the harvest, right?
Absolutely.
They're the ones raking in the millions. They're the ones, going
attracting
to cinema and
the
attracting
funding.
not just the funding, but also the international communities as well.
Absolutely.
And international funding as well.
Yeah.
So there it's not something that they are going to just suddenly wants to do from nowhere.
Yeah.
They want to also, they're bankers.
Yes.
They're money people. They want to know that their money is
it's safe.
actually doing something.
Yes.
And it's going to go out and do what it is that you have asked it to do.
So, and how it's going to come back.
It's a two-way street.
Yes,
it's a two-way street.
It is. There are also many policies that also restricts the funding. And the fundings are also not constructed right for the industry, because there's the lack of knowledge,
lack of understanding
on the side of the policymakers in the finance sector.
Yeah.
Right. I always tell people, I said, for us to have a mortgage bank is because the real estate industry sat the finance guys and said this is how we want. 30 days thing is not going to work.
Yeah.
It takes a year or two to build a house. So how's it? You know what I mean? And then the land, use policies, all that. Now, based on that, they determined, okay, you know what? We probably need a specific vehicle for the real estate. You understand? To take in cognizance the timing, the gestation period, the building period, the paper documentations that are required. You understand? You can take a loan on a building.
Yeah.
You don't have to own another building to take. You can take a loan on the building. Why can't we take a loan on our
On our film.
on our film?
Yeah.
Because it is a property.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but you've got things like the Bank of Industry that has a creative fund. Now, federal government is also leaning into that conversation with Providence Bank. You've now got, even some of the states are beginning to make their own creative fund. Lagos State has got one. I think a couple of other states also have the same thing. You have more people who are leaning into the creative fund initiative because they recognize, that there needs to be a
There's
vehicle
something, yeah.
a vehicle and a platform to support the emerging filmmakers, support working industry filmmakers, and help to grow the industry as well. So I think the narrative is slightly changing. However, I do understand and I do agree with you in terms of even things like if you just go to the bank and say, I want to buy equipment, and they're giving you like a 20-30% interest rate,
yeah.
which how the heck am I going to pay back?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think what you're seeing in all these creative funds that are leaning in right now is the recognition of the potential of the industry, but not the clarity and understanding of the industry yet.
I understand that.
You know what I mean? It's not because there is yet the clarity, but the early adopters, right, are taking a huge risk. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, let's just go out there and just let's see. So they're throwing themselves in the pond, not because there is much clarity on it, but they're willing to take the chance because they can recognize the potential. And the truth is, business is a risk, right? So it makes sense for them to do that. However, it is best if they even understood the direction. If they understood the way, the pathway, right? And I'm saying this because I have actually interacted with some of these funders, and I'm surprised what they still don't know. And I'm like, but you just gave out money. You didn't know this part. And this is integral to your money returning.
Your money returning.
And if it was not there, how are you gonna get your money back?
Yeah.
But I doff my hat for those that are coming in, taking the risk, and that's why you see a lot of government intervention. But government intervention is
not
a
enough.
drop in the ocean
Yeah.
when you think about the creative potential that we have. Now, I was telling there was someone I was just saying to her, so listen, there is a film I was reading, was it a month ago? It's one of these big titles. I can't remember it right now. But they just signed up the director, right? And paid him $80 million. The director, not the film. Not the film's budget. That's how much they are paying the director. $80 million just to do the film.
Lord.
So you can imagine what is the
What's the
budget
budget
of
for
the
the
film?
film itself?
You know what I mean?
Lord.
Now I'm not. We will get there, but for us to even start to break into that, attracting that kind of money, we really are in a hurry to get the finance guys to really understand us.
To understand the industry.
Yeah, because when they come in, right, they're quite bullish when they recognize potential and they know they're going to get their money back. Why not? Let's go in.
They're
all in.
aggressive about it.
They're aggressive about
Yeah.
it. So we need that level of aggressiveness. And the reason why they're not aggressive right now and they're kind of waiting for the other guy to fall so that they can
learn from the
not
other
even
person's
learn, they can say, why did you go? Sure, we told you not to go. But the reason why some of them are sitting on the fence, or even when they come in like as CSR, we're tired. This industry can't be. We can't be taking pittance.
Yeah.
It won't work that way.
Yeah.
Like I also said to one of the finance guys I was talking to, I said, the lower the altitude, the lower the investment, the higher the risk. The lower the risk, the higher but the higher the risk, the lower the investment. So when you are investing in a big film, right, the chances of it failing
It's very slim.
is very slim.
Very slim.
You know, and this is one industry. This is
Mm-hmm.
one industry that does, let's say, three things. One, very high in hiring, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very big. Like if you want one production, you can have 5,000
Of
people,
course.
working on it. That's one. Two, 200% return on investment. Easily.
Easily.
Easily. You can get 200% and more, you know, easily on the production because it's huge. Film is huge,
Yeah.
right? And when you think of even that 200%, you're going to split it by many people. So you better be making a lot of
A
money
lot of
because
money.
there's a lot of people involved in making that one product. You get. Then a film is also a film, and people ask us that question: why film? I said, film is really the creative. Film integrates all the creative,
Everything. You're the
everybody.
second person that has
Yes,
said it on this podcast.
if you
Film is
get
integrating every
everything.
single aspect, whether you're painting, whether you're
Oh my
costuming, whether
goodness,
you're a production
everything.
designer.
Yes.
Like it brings every single aspect of the creative space into one
Absolutely.
market,
Yes.
one product.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So imagine if the budget of one film is, let's say, $100 million, right? You won't find a makeup artist that is free. Yes, you won't.
Yes.
You understand? They'll be looking for film jobs before they'll look for personal people to make up. You understand? They'll be looking for those kind, and you would have sorted that industry because film is going to be high on payments. Do you understand? They will be high on payment because they'll be high on skill.
Yes.
So if you get film rights, you've gotten the creative industry right. You've got, I bet you, because it will up the skill on every level. Because
Up the scale,
yes,
up the money, the monetary
yes,
aspect,
the
up
monetary
the income
the
as
income,
well.
absolutely.
Yeah, I totally hear you. I
Yeah.
totally hear you. So you've got a platform that you're starting, right?
Yes,
Aside
yes.
from the conference itself, is this a platform that people can reach out to, get information, get resources online?
Absolutely.
What's the name of the platform?
So the platform is tied to the conference.
Mm-hmm.
So the Africa Film Finance Forum would also have the Africa Film Finance Forum on demand. So the on demand is online,
Right.
which would be where you can interact outside of the conference.
conference
So
itself.
you can do the matchmaking, you can follow up, you can, so we're using technology to continue the conference.
conversation.
Yes, to
Right.
continue the conference till the next conference because we hope to do it yearly.
Okay.
So in that way, people can come into the platform and still try to do the matchmaking and all that, or even just kind of start to prep yourself for the next conference because we are creating a platform where people are going to come in accredited. Right? Producers are going to come in accredited. Financiers will come in. We only want serious people. We want it to be a room where you can come in 3 days and you've signed the deal for the year.
And people are vetted. You know that
Yes,
they're trustworthy.
they're
You know that
trustworthy. Absolutely.
you're dealing with legitimate people. I
Yes.
think because that's another fear that a lot of people have
Trust.
as well.
Yes.
How can I trust them?
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
trust this person with my
Yeah.
money? Can I
Yeah.
trust this person with my investment? So
Yeah.
that's a really key thing.
Yes.
I totally hear that.
Yeah, yeah.
Mary Egbas, thank you so much for stopping by. It's
Thank
been
you.
really insightful. Very encouraging.
Yeah.
I think perhaps maybe there's even a follow-up conversation to have regarding
Absolutely.
the cost elements that filmmakers need to take account of,
Absolutely.
both hidden and obvious.
Yes.
Because I think that there are hidden costs that they don't see.
And in
But
fact,
that's another conversation.
In fact, let me just drop one of the biggest the biggest shocker is that when you hear a film has made 1 billion, for instance, in the cinemas, you're thinking, oh man, she's packed up, she's doing well, 1 billion has come to her pocket. Where the filmmakers get shocked is what they receive back.
Yeah,
And they-
30%.
And they're like, are you kidding? This film just made 1 billion.
Yeah.
Why am I getting 30%? Or why am I getting this?
Yeah.
And even in that, I'm still going to have to pay a percentage to this and this and this and that.
Yeah.
To tax, to, I'm going to
Yes.
do all that. So those are the things that they need to understand. So you really understand, yes, my film needs to make this amount of money because 30% is my 100%, for instance.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to have this. We're going to continue this conversation slightly later.
No problem.
Because I think this aspect of the cost elements,
Yes.
things about the going to cinema, what comes to you,
Yeah.
those marketing costs, all those different things that we don't know, we don't read the fine print,
Or you don't
and then
prepare for.
we don't prepare for, and then we
Yeah.
get slammed with.
Yes,
So I think
yes.
this conversation definitely needs to have a part 2, and it will have a part 2. But for now, thank you so much for stopping by. We'll be talking about film funding, the elements around film funding, and the challenges around it.
Yeah.
There will be a part 2 to this conversation, so do make sure you look out for it. In the meantime, this is Find Your Alpha Podcast. This is Mary Egbas, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Thank you.